line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew.
Alright, race fans, welcome back here to Pete Series TV on live here today from our friends down, of course, in the land of Langely Speedway here in Langley in the Virginia state itself. We are down ready to go for tonight's action and showcase of the Ryan Dyer race season here. Presented by the Ryan Dyer YouTube channel. Misfitz iRacing League Super Late Models Division have come to the show. They've come full circle, and I'm going to answer this question right now. Why do we have this scoreboard up like this right now? Just be well aware, guys, there is absolutely nothing I can do about that. I have no control over my SDK gaming or any of that stuff right now. I have no control over what the heck I'm seeing on the driver's end, so you're just going to have to kind of work with me here as best as you can, because this is going to be a bit of a workaround, to say the least. But I'm going to try my best to call up everybody as I go, so we're set to go here for heat number 1 though. As we come off the line through the chicanes, we're off and running, and this race is underway. Out of the gate though, it is right now Ryan Zebu. And the number 28 has the early lead right now out of the gate as he moves his way down to the chains. Matching around on the track right now currently. Bryson Collins there on the number 5, trying to move the chains up there in the 5 as he tries to get up there into with Paul Granada there, piloting the number 89 tonight. Ryan Zuber representing in the 26. Kenneth Brown will be in the 98, and then the 59 is represented by Matt Bingo tonight. All drivers right now moving their way to the chains into the distance zone, opening there down on the bottom lane. As you see, Bryson Collins did a nice little runoff there, passing the number 98, number 8098 at Kenneth Brown there. as well as getting right up ahead of Paul Granada. Granada giving him the door and opened it up wide, and that GameStop 89 was able to take full control. Halfway point now reached here as we are continuing to march the way to the distance into the chains. Drivers continuously punching their gaps, punching their time zones here, trying to see who can outplay the other. And again, I do really apologize for the rough camera angles here. Not the way we wanted to bring Langely Speedway onto the track here and onto the circuit, but that's kind of what we're going to have to end up having to deal with here. Oh, and speaking of having to end up dealing with, sometimes these short track races, this stuff can happen too. Bumping, rubbing, racing, and the 98 of Kenneth Brown getting taken a little bit there by the 59 of Matt Mingo. Race leader right now on the number 26, trying to stay away. Ryan Zubu, one to go here in heat number 1. Fires it down off the final corner into turn number 4. And he'll grab checker. It's there for heat number 1. Ryan Zebu takes this one home. Bryce Collins will go in second here. The 98 will then be Kenneth Brown going in the bottom lane. And looks like on my end, yep, actually Paul Granada will be your race podium third place man. So the 89 comes away third. Again, guys, you're gonna have to excuse my horrible counting here. It's gonna be very difficult because I literally have nothing. So, next field of drivers right now getting set up on the track as we're currently trying to get set up on the track here. I'm hoping by tomorrow everything will be back to normal as we have a brand new lead coming onto the board here. They'll be joining us here soon enough here on the show. We cannot wait to see them popping up and having a little time or two around the track. And if you guys are wondering at home, why are we having so much trouble, so many issues right now? Well, we did have a huge update that came in here not too long ago, actually very recently, so which actually ended up kind of messing things up a little bit for the broadcaster guys and myself included. So for us, we're currently struggling a little bit to get everything set on the show and set on the track so you guys can view some drivers. So hoping by the time we get all said and done and everything's done and over with, we should be okay and we should be all right. But yeah, it's a little bit of a workaround, we'll say. So again, you'll probably see some horrible camera angles, some horrible jump cuts and stuff around our end here. Really, there's nothing much we can do about it. We're trying to find ways to kind of work around it, but there's not a whole lot we can do. So I'm hoping by tomorrow, though, everything gets fixed up and we get back to normal, back to reality here. Well, we're bringing him down here. Jesse Singleton is piloting the 51, and I'm not completely sure on who is driving the number 31. I think we'll find out here in just a moment here. Two drivers in heat number 2, and then they'll advance into the A main after a little warm-up session coming down off turn number 4 here. And Jesse Singleton, the 51, leads our boys off to the start. Jacob Torman in the 31 will be the next one up. Singleton, though, horrible start out of the gate. Torman takes full advantage. And the 51 of Singleton trying to get right back out of Torman here, though, holding his line down, trying to keep ahead of the distance. Pretty much got him on the jump start, and I'm really rocked out of the gate, had nowhere to go. And you can just see how wide some of these guys are driving onto the track here, kind of running them off into the playing field. Again, it's very tricky to actually hold your line down here on the track because there's really no banking. It's a flat surface, flat track layout, and what makes it so much more difficult is, again, with the absolute horsepower and speed these Super Late models have, it's pretty much more difficult and much more tricky to maneuver and master around than I would say even for a track like Oxford. Well, Torman right now is your race leader here, holding down the lines. We're halfway done, and Singleton Well, the good news is you can draft. You can drift around here a little bit and actually hold your line in it because it is a very short track. There is quite a few ways to get around that. A little bit of a workaround. Torment certainly seems to hold that up and keep this momentum in play. Singleton trying to get up there with him. Torment with only 2 laps left to go here in heat number 2. Ending into heat number 1 here. We saw earlier some heavy hitters going at it. We'll see them all advance into the A main here in a 75 lap battle for proportions. 1 lap to go. The white flag is high in the air. All I can say is thanks to simracingapps.com for helping us out and actually getting everything put up here. We do appreciate at least you guys helping us out, and we'll hope in the STK Gaming will be able to get everything fixed up on their end by tomorrow. So, but nevertheless, heat 2 will go to Torman. And at 31, the SRT machine will put this one up as Aiden Kirker and 39, Josh Smith, Ryan Dyer did not even make it to the grid. So our 10 drivers not able to make the call, make the show. That will set the field back up into position, back up on the pace here. And the 98 of Kenneth Brown coming onto the track here. Looks like he's going to be the first one to lay down some qualifying laps here. So right now in the race session here, you'll see Zebu and Torman be your top spots out of the gate. That will be the ones that start up on the front row. The rest of your drivers, well, they'll have to find their way around in the middle of back to the packs to the front of the gaps. That's going to be a bit of a challenge for them in this case. Take a look at this track here. You can see Langely Speedway again, less than a half-mile length here. This is actually a little smaller track, a little more of a this is more of a bull ring style track as we've come to know and we've come to expect here, and how everything plays out. It's a very unique little track, very substantial track as well. And I really feel like the biggest thing with this place really has always been just tight corners, tight ends, and watching your speeds as much as possible. But the hardest part about it is knowing your line and knowing your limits here and trying to watch out for anything that goes into a wrong spot to be put into. We've seen multiple times here before where literally a driver just gets a little too ahead of themselves and then they find themselves in a very tough little ordeal. Well, on these bull ring style tracks, especially this one, if you're not careful, that will be your last mistake you make. It is so easy to just drive it too hard in the corner and off the corner. You have to find a half beat, you have to find the balance, and then you gotta watch drivers trying to go below that yellow line there and having to keep up your corner and your entry and the exits. That 75 lap race, it's gonna go by a little bit as long as these guys just kind of focus in on what makes this car tick and what makes this car kind of work around the place. But either way, it's definitely gonna be a wild little battle here, that is for certain. Going into this race, Bryce Collins in the number 5, looking to try to secure himself a championship victory as well this season, looking to try and maybe mark himself down as the very first winner of the season championship stakes for the Misfitz iRacing League. He may have a very good opportunity here with a good position, a good race today, to really start locking that up and locking it home. Daniel Moynihan saying short track racing, let's go. Or short track and let's go, excuse me. Hey Dan, good to have you on board here, sir. point in saying, let's see if Brace can take it home again today. Well, I mean, there's a good chance he could. I mean, one thing we've always talked about, he's had a lot of big racing wheels, a lot of big kind of shots in the dark here at some of these guys. They're looking to maybe try to keep that momentum up, but Jacob Torman, though, remember, he is still looking for a win here on the show, and he hasn't gotten one yet. So, if anything, is SRT 31, I think may be the guy you got to watch out for here. Paul Granada, I don't know what I referred to when I said Tinder sucks. I didn't say Tinder sucks. I didn't even say anything about Tinder, my friend. So, not sure where that one came from, but thanks for coming on board today. Little slip and slide there for the 31s. The field is ready to go. Warm-up has now completed, and we are now set for tonight's main event. 75 laps to the distance. It's time to bring out the Misfits. And your field of drivers now engaging out on the track. Here we go. Ryan Zebu will be the starting man on the pole, and is outside Jacob Torman in the 31. Row number 2, Bryson Collins is going to pilot the 5. Is outside. It's the 51, Jesse Singleton. At row number 3, it's Paul Grada, and the number 04 is outside. It's Aiden the Iceman Kirker in the 39. And row number 4, it's Matt Mingo in the 59 who's outside. That is a 08, piloted by Josh Smith. And row number 5, it's going to be Kenneth Brown, the 98. Final starter, Ryan Dyer, the 83. And that will set the tone and set the field. We'll have to see if Aiden Kirker, Josh Smith, and Ryan Dyer can make the show, make the call. As your list has come up onto the track, drivers are preparing for battle here. We did not get to see what Aiden the Iceman Kirker can do in the super late model short track scheme here. But I bet he's going to be trying to looking at that here, though. Paul Granada saying, have a good night in the booth, man. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. It's got to be a little, I hope it's a little bit better than what it's like trying to deal with the, what I'm having to deal with right now. Believe me, I wish I could show you guys what I'm dealing with, but I don't think you really would want to see it. I don't know. While we're getting ready to go racing here, I'm just gonna go ahead and try and see if I can find some other way to see everything down on the track and see what's going on down here, so I can know exactly what we're looking at, what we're dealing with at times. But we'll lead them off down on the track here, lead them off down in position here. The field is now set to go. Right off into the distance here, out of the gate. Drivers up now, fire their way into position, trying to make their way on the charge, trying to hit them up through the corners. Down off the front ends here, so far so good. Looking for the Ryan Zebu, the number 26. Bryson Collins, the 5, having to deal with Jacob Torman, the 31, though, right behind him here, trying to make some moves, make some grooves. Everybody looking for an opening early on, trying to see if maybe there's some openings there, maybe there's something to really work for. Field continue to pace their way around here, continuing to drive in, drive hard as they can. Drive as you please, make your risk and make your moves when you know you need to, but there's one thing you gotta watch out for, it's where you make the biggest mistakes and your biggest risks at. We've seen it time and time again where drivers just get a little too ahead of themselves and they'll end up finding themselves into a bit of a hole here, and that's where things really get to be very tricky here. Ryan Zeber right now in 26 leads him off. Troubles down there for Matt Mingo here. Unfortunately, the number 50 minus. He's got some problems down there on the track. Grayson Collins here, the number 5, currently dealing with some pressure right behind him here from Torman as Torman tries to make him in. Cadillac, that's saying the Crusader. Hey, Cat, I think it's coming on board here, sir. I think that's the first time anyone's actually referred to me by my actual nickname, the Crusader. I appreciate it, though. It's kind of nice once in a while. Coming right around off down on turn number 1 here. We're back in turn 2 here. Brayson Collins in the 5, still dealing with Torment as Singleton's coming right back for both of them. And you can just see now that bull ring-esque style racing. Stay in the throttle, stay in the gas, or get put back with the rest. Get out of the gate down at turn 4. Big opening there as Torment tormenting that 5 right now. Collins got to be a little bit suspicious about him trying to be pushed and bumped around a little bit here. Right back into the fight as well. Here comes Paul Granada, the number 89, coming right behind Jesse Singleton, the 51, looking to try and take position away from him. You got 4 cars battling hard while Ryan Zubu is just walking away from all of them. For Collins, it's not a matter of trying to get the race win. It's just a matter of making sure he finishes in a good spot like he is in right now. That will ensure and secure himself into a very high-end and high-praised little angle that he can use for later on. Jesse Singleton once again here now moving his way into position, trying to make a charge and make a little bit of a round off here. By the way, if you do see some of that stuff that's going on in the chat, just report it. Just call it spam. It's trust me, it's annoying, guys. Moving the way into the inside, you can see Torman yet again trying to get that inside run of Collins and gives him a bump and run for his troubles. And Collins able to, for the record, hold it on. Singleton gets the bottom lane away and steals one from him. The old short track racing mantra, and you can see you got to drive a little hard to get past, but the problem is you go that outside, you leave that bottom wide open. And that bottom lane was left high in the skies, and it was left for these guys to go around with it. 31 making moves, as Dan Moynihan's saying in the chat. Yeah, he's definitely making some moves, making some runs here. And he's trying to get back at it. Oh, but he puts it right back at the 89 there. Little fenders being put together. Worlds collide as Granada gets a taste there from Torment, and you see the 98 of Kenneth Brown loving every minute of what he sees. He sees a chance possibly sneak his way back into this. Like I said, guys, right now my camera system is really just with a keyboard and mouse, so I'm sorry to say, but you're going to have to work with me here. Kenneth Brown right now trying to get back on the speed, get back on the ledge in that Napa Auto Parts 98. As you see, Torment trying to secure some speed. Problem is, when you're driving on that bottom lane, there is one thing you got to worry about, is that little flat spot off of turn number 4 and turn 2. It's actually a bit of a, almost like kind of a bit of a rut down there, if you ask me. You hit it just wrong, you're not going to be able to get speed to get off that corner, and then the guys on the outside are actually able to hold you down a lot more often than not. Zebu with literally about halfway done so far in the race lead. Not gonna lie as well, I feel like my left hand's about ready to have carpal tunnel for having just trying to work the camera system with a keyboard. I'm so used to using a mouse to select everything and watch these guys. Good lord. All I can say is iRacing, please get these live timing things sheets fixed, please, my friends. Coming right off out of the turns here, turn number 2. Once again, the 98 of Kenneth Brown working up to Torment here, trying to bolster the speed and momentum. Torment had such a strong run earlier on, and now it's kind of been nullified, been thrown back a little bit in the pack. Singleton starting to push the agenda. The Cabela's 51 right into the 5 of Brayson Collins' mix. Collins trying to hang on. And he's doing a lot more than hanging on. He's defending, he's blocking, and trying to keep him away from it. March to the ground, march them down. Here comes Granada, right on the outside, then looking in, and you can see that 09 is, the 89, excuse me, is literally just pushing something around. He's looking for a shot, trying to take an end to that 51 of Jesse Singleton, but the Cabela's machine cannot let him by. But he's giving him a run on the outside, though, and again, battling for that bottom lane. You get the outside open, then it's all yours. You just need to get to that outside is the only problem. Singleton's trying to find something. He's trying to find another angle, something to use up with him, but he just cannot get it to go. It will not stick, and it will not fly by. The 89 here back at it once more on the bottom lane. Trying to make another get at it here. Boyden saying in the grass. I'm pretty sure he was talking about a pass in the grass earlier. Yeah, that's definitely something I've seen here before. I've actually done it too. Some of the guys didn't exactly appreciate it, but hey, I thought it was pretty cool. Granada still right into that mix. Oh! Slamming it right off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway wall protection. And the right side lifted completely off the ground. Thankfully, he was able to recover and save it, but man, did he go for a bit of a ride there. Now giving Singleton plenty of room to work with and plenty of time to for evasive action. Can the game stop at 89 of Granada? Hang on. Singleton still trying to bolster the speed, bolster the run and the momentum. Ryan Zebu in the 26 still your race leader by a mere 5.5 plus seconds. He is absolutely laying these boys out on the track. Granada giving him plenty of room down there though. Singleton's not exactly just giving up that easily. And if he gets up there with Collins, I guarantee you there may be some old bad blood feud rivalries on there. Collins has not made very many friends throughout the season. Now a lot of it really is just because he gets bumped and banged around a little bit. He just will not happen with these guys. Singleton, you can see that rear end though. I mean, that thing kicked right out from underneath him and he was still able to hold that thing down on line. Yeah, well, I mean, that is kind of the short track racing of a bull ring style. You just gotta have to work with what you got. It's a lot easier when you got dirt on the track, I can tell you that much. The only reason I say that is because at least when you have dirt on the track, you got multiple lines you can use. So many slick ends, slick spots to get around here, and Ryan Zebu, again, he's almost about ready to lap this entire field. This man is literally just ho-humming this thing around the track. He's not giving an inch to anybody today. And you can see, too, just how smooth he corners at each corner. He kind of works around every angle and every spot. He's not driving this thing in straight too hard or too much. He's just giving it nice and smooth momentum and nice smooth control. Matt Mingo 3 laps down, unfortunately, due to the problems earlier on that he kind of caused himself, having to work back at it. Jacob Torman thrown back into the mix as well here with 98 of Kenneth Brown. Still in his position over, but you can see Kenneth Brown, he's struggling to hold the bottom lane. The tire's starting to fade, and he's starting to have trouble steering this thing up in. We have a mere 35 laps left to go here as the field is still trying to hang in there and trying to get one more push off into the corners. Bryson Collins here still holding down in his work, his WRC number 5 machine. As it appears, looks like we might have lost one driver out on the track. I think we may have lost Mr. Paul Granada there. We may have completely lost him, and I think he may have evaded out onto the circuit. field starting to reach at the end of this one with 30 to go, and really, I mean, it's been mostly Zebu just kind of taking this one over. Collins, Singleton, and all them moving in and throwing them down a little bit. Jacob Torman has put it into pit road. Paul Granada also out, I should say. Both drivers are actually out completely. Problems down there for Torman and Granada, unfortunately, and that is a troublesome shoot for them. Tough break for both guys. Kenneth Brown, Justin Singleton, and them are all doing their own little thing, battling as quick as they can. You can just see how tricky it is right now for some of these guys having to work around this place. Torment now been tormented and taken too far to the end. Mingo will take 2 positions away and move into the top 5, which will certainly help out his cause here. For Jesse Singleton, though, if he wants any chance to have a shot at taking down Brace Collins in the championship season race at Rockingham next week, well, let's just say he may want to start thinking a little bit about this race. The 98 there, right behind there, the 51, that is Kenneth Brown still trying to keep his distance, trying to keep his chances up for grabs. Matt Mingo in the 59 being put into another lap down scenario here. He's already been passed by Ryan Zebu there, and Zebu looks like he might go for another one around him if he can get back up to him. And really, I'm kind of surprised that Mingo is so far back. He doesn't seem like he's that far off of throttle limits and throttle rhythm that everyone else is, but it certainly seems though it may be the case. "23 laps remain now. The field is coming closer and closer to the end of it all." There it is in the Harrison's machine, number 26. Race leads it in the Ford Fusion. It's Ryan Zebu just absolutely sending it to town. Justin Singleton right in that mix, trying to still fight and maybe mix it up a little bit there with Collins. But Collins outsmarting, out driving him a little bit, but you can just see it could definitely take a little bit to get back out of here, and now it's going to take a lot more than that. Kenneth Brown gives the 51 a bump and run, and the short track racing mantra is live in high regard yet again. I don't think Kenneth meant to tag him there. I think he saw Singleton slow down too much, and he was going for the move and end up, well, let's just say putting his bumper right probably where he didn't want him to. Collins now with Mingo right behind him, right in front of him here, trying to make a pass off Brown. Oh, and Collins even now smacking the wall a little bit. He's going to give Brown some thought and momentum here. Collins cannot lose any more time. He already is. He knows he cannot lose this one out too quickly here. Mingo trying to back off at the same time, trying to make some maneuvers here to get around the corners. Knows he's a bit in trouble though, slows down, and now he gets Collins to slow down too. Mingo going right there with Brown. Brown trying to hold it down to the bottom lane. 16 laps remain now, and really the battle has been all day long. Second place, the leaders, well, they went somewhere else around here. And by leaders, I mean the leader, which is Ryan Zebu. He's just completely left everyone high and dry. Didn't even bother saying hello or goodbye. And he has now literally marched his way up to the entire rest of the field. This could be literally his to win. And by literally taking this entire field down with him. Collins trying to block Brown here. You can see he's starting to get a little bit nervous. Knows he's got to start making some moves, making some runs to keep him at bay. He sees what he's doing here. Wayne saying those tires are done. I don't think they were even good. I don't even think they were still working to begin with. And when they got 10 laps in, I think they were literally starting to fry up by then. Virginia heat sun, man. It tells you one thing. It will get hot down here. Collins hanging on though. You can see Singleton going right for the move off. Can't get a run just yet. Gets an inside look down. There's Mingo. Opens the door up and kind of mixes it up a little bit at that 98, but it is also Brown that mixes it in with the 5 of Collins. 10 laps to go. And it's all 10 laps because look at who literally just came right back from the field. Zebu is now on a full-on, full-fledged, just full throttle assault and attack on these guys. I don't even know what the heck I'm witnessing from him. I don't even think the boys know what the heck he's doing or how he's doing it. Either way, he just completely took this race, flipped it upside down, and made Langley look like he was easy. I can tell you one thing right now, this track is not easy with any car. And yet he did it with a freaking Super Lane model. He did it with a Super Lane model and made this track look like it is just a bare bones facility that's as easy to drive as easy as it looks. It's not easy to drive, nor is it easy as it looks. It's not even close. It's 7 to go now. He's just pretty much kind of left them all out on the yard. And Collins getting another opening from Brown. Drove it way too hard in turn number 1. Got a big runoff in turn number 2. Six to go. Mingo wrecks right in front, and for the first time, it's gonna bring out the caution. Oh my goodness! And I think Ryan Zebu is gotta be literally just thinking to himself, "You had to wreck there." That is a bit wild, to say the least. Let's take a look at the replay as soon as we can here. Pop that up on your screen real quick here. Let's see if we can take a look at this one. Bingo just overdrove it right in the corner, and you can see he smacked the wall right in front of the other drivers. And well, they certainly wasted no time throwing that caution flag out as soon as they could there. I think they just wanted to get it out as soon as possible here. This is done via iRacing's end, by the way. And you can just see right here, this is what I'm talking about. That car was literally turned straight dead left, and it just had no steering whatsoever. Those tires were just too fried, to say the least. Well, for Collins now, honestly, if he can win this race, if by some miracle, he might actually be able to start making a little bit of a championship run as he gives Zebu a little bump in the back. I don't know what that was all about, but that's his championship run can actually just go full-fledged, full circle if he can win this one here and take this one home. Wayne saying, ouch, hard hit. Yeah, it was a pretty hard hit down there. Thankfully, we can confirm Mingo is A-okay. He said the next time I smack the wall like that, though, just make sure to give me some out. Just make sure to put some Jack Daniels into my cup next time, guys. I think that's more of a Tennessee reference than anything, but I mean, hey, who's counting? field is set. The field is ready. Green is out. Green, white, checker time up for grabs. Collins needed to get a good jump out of the start. He did not get it, and now he's going to have to find himself in a whole nother yard here. Kenneth Brown, the 98, going right back at it with the 5. It looks like he might make things a little bit more difficult. White flag is out. Oh, and Collins getting taken right out there by the 98. And Singleton giving him one right back at it. Bingo swinging right through the middle. Collins getting right up ahead of the 51 of Singleton, but it's Ryan Zebu will take the 26 to victory lane, and Collins will hold on to second with Singleton going third, and Mingo mixing it up a little bit with Kenneth Brown going fourth out of the bunch, but race fans, Ryan Zebu will be your definitive race winner, the first ever winner here at Langley Speedway here on Pizza Race TV. And honestly, I couldn't even describe it more than just a perfect send-off for him, as he literally just destroyed and dominated this track, my friend. What a race. Absolutely remarkable performance here on Pizza Race TV by the drivers and by the crew here. Great stuff all around from these guys, and a great end here for this one. What a race, to say the least. Well, now the time has come here, race fans. Here our top 5 here coming away from it, but we'll talk with the top 3. It's time to listen in to the boys here and have a listen in with these guys to see what all the fuss of is and everyone here. Alright, we'll take a listen in now real quick here. Third place finisher joins me now, ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Singleton, coming away here in the 51 and coming away with a solid performance here. Congratulations on that, and really what a long race this one was for you and the crew here, Singleton, and really pulling this one up to the end there.
Uh, yeah, I really felt like we had a good car here. I felt like we had one that could contend for the lead. You know, it's just so hard to pass here, man. Just somebody gets out in front of you, it's about impossible to pass without putting a bumper to them. But Brayson did a good job holding us up there, and we got out with the best finish we could.
You got out with the best finish you can, really making something work to the end of the game plan here. But I will say this too. I mean, you had a lot of wild moments in between when you were getting into the end game here for you and the crew. I mean, what was kind of the big thing you were just trying to watch out for, if you ask anything else?
Tire wear really just got save tires for these late race restarts like this, and just be cautious of other people. We had one not so nice person. I mean, we're racing for a championship, and he's turning the two championship drivers around. That's what I was trying to keep my awareness around. I don't want to lose 4 positions back from Bryson because somebody wants to dump me. So I'll just let him by and let him go deal with Bryson.
Well, you definitely let him go by and dealt with what he wanted to, but I mean, at the end of the day, it looked like you and the crew will still at least come away third, and the championship is on the line next week, so we'll see what happens there. But nevertheless, congratulations on the third place finish, and who do you want to thank for that?
I'll just thank Misfitz for putting this on every week. My team at SRM and just everybody watching.
For sure. All right. Well, nevertheless, Singleton, congratulations on this third place finish, and we'll catch you next time out.
Yep, thank you.
Jesse Singleton, ladies and gentlemen, here coming away third out of the bunch. Second going to Brayson Collins on number 5. And Brayson, very long run strategy, long run focus, but the car was able to hold up for second at least all day long until we got into that last lap there, and it looked like anything could happen then.
Yeah, really unfortunately we got a caution there. It sucks. I don't want to be mean to anybody, but if you're self-spinning, we've gone 70 laps. Like, I feel like you should know how the car drives at this point. But whatever, man. Because of course Jesse, he was a lap down, so he got the lucky dog. So everyone had to start on the inside line except for me. So um, fired off in the wrong gear on the start, but luckily 98 was caught sleeping there on that green white checkered, so I was able to get in line behind Zabo. And I saw him send Jesse earlier, and he tried to send me a few times. I had to kind of lock it down a little bit to get him to not run over me and turn me. So I knew he was gonna send me. I watched what he did to Jesse. He didn't care about any championship battle or anything like that. I mean, it's his first race here, so who knows if it'll be his last after that whole thing. But yeah, Jesse and I mean, Jesse raced me clean when we played the defense stuff. Paul was racing me clean on, I mean, so I don't know why Kenneth felt the need to send me there, but he did. Saved it, dropped it down to second gear so I can get back going again. And Jesse got the wall. That guy was spinning, and the guy who self-spun was taking it 3 wide up the middle. So I had the chance to pass Jesse, and I think Jesse was kind of being a little more sportsmanlike, was trying to let me go, and I kind of sent it up there anyways because I didn't know if he was letting me go or not. So I sent it up there, and I think he kind of let me go after he realized that we were probably going to end up both wreck there in 3 and 4. But props to Jesse for being a respectful all race, and hopefully next week we get a clean battle for that championship because I mean it's coming down to the wire here.
It is certainly coming down the wire. A championship on the line between you and him, of course, as well as really just this entire season that's kind of laid down to this one big moment. But Rockingham is certainly no easy task versus Langley. But this being your first time out here on the track with these guys, I mean, how did this track fare to kind of give you the confidence you need to go into Rockingham?
S track, honestly, it doesn't give you the confidence going to Rockingham because this track it takes some brake pedal. Rockingham's going to be nearly full throttle. And I like Rockingham. I think the shape of it and the way the banking is very interesting for that track. So I don't 100% mind it, but yeah, it doesn't 100% give me confidence because this is a different track, and this is a track where I was really able to play into the skill of just playing some defense. I was just holding that yellow curb. They couldn't pass me. That was the whole reason I was able to stay second. I was slower than Jesse. I was slower than Kenneth. I was slower than Paul. But I was able to just maintain that position because of how well I was able to play defense. So Rockingham's gonna be a whole different story. You got a wide open racetrack. I feel pretty solid at the wide open racetracks. Got the win at Richmond. I was running pretty well at Dover. I was top 3 for pretty much that entire race till late in the run when, well, Jesse and I got together. So um, yeah, ultimately, we'll see what happens next week at Rockingham. I gained a couple points on Jesse tonight with tonight's results, so hopefully that points gap is big enough that I can keep it close between Jesse and I next week at Rockingham, and may the best guy win.
May the best man win indeed. But nevertheless, here as you come away second in this crew with this Langley Speedway track, who do you want to thank for second today?
I got to thank Dark Horse Racing, Justin Haley, Quentin Haley, Ryan Ayers, Casgarella, Ryan Martin, EVC Automotive, the Keystone Corner, Limeade Media. Go follow them on Instagram at Limeade Media and their subsidiary accounts at Limeade Film and at Limeade Graphics. Dynamo Designs, if you're looking for an iRacing paint scheme, they start at just $5 a pop. I am not affiliated with, this scheme is not a Dynamo Design scheme. If you've seen Josh Harrison's cars, they're absolutely phenomenal. That's who Dynamo Designs is. So go check him out. $5 a scheme. You get $35 quality schemes for the price of $5. Got to thank you for broadcasting, man. I got to thank Patrick for throwing up the session. Unfortunately, couldn't be here tonight because of some work stuff. Got to shout out GGR. Go check them out. They're starting an ARCA series Tuesday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, I believe, 9 or 9:30, one of those two. So go check out GGR Leagues on Instagram. Go message Ethan Harrison. He'll get you set up with all that stuff. Go check out the World Online Racing Championship. The Dirt Street Stock Series is coming very soon to that league. They run an asphalt, a dirt oval, and a road course series. So go check them out. Discord.gg/H6ZQ8AU. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And hopefully we'll be back here in the booth next weekend at Rockingham celebrating.
Well, we'll have to find out when the time comes. But nevertheless, here as you come away second place here at Langley. Congratulations on that, and we'll see you then.
All right.
Race Collins, ladies and gentlemen, the number 5 here, coming away here with the win, coming away second, but looking for the win at Rockingham. But the man that comes away with the win today pilots the big 26 from start to finish. I mean, Zebu, you literally just completely tore this track a new one.
I got lucky, man. After Rockingham last week, I felt like I was owed one a little bit, but this is really the first race I've ever ran at this speedway, so it was fun to get the win.
First race you ever really run at the speedway, literally just put this thing on notice and making this car literally drive in like you completely own the track and you knew how everything worked around here. I mean, I gotta believe for you and this crew, I mean, this was one way you knew in your heart that you had to really kind of perfect and really perform at the highest level, and this one definitely made you seem like it and then some.
Oh yeah, it turned out good, man. I was surprised the tires lasted as long as they did. And I mean, I really wasn't having trouble driving it in and keeping it under me and getting off the corner. So they really didn't start fading away to the last 15 or 20 laps or so. But it was fun, good fun race, and appreciate Bryson and everybody for helping it out and putting it on.
For sure there. So, Zebu, as you come away today with the race win, and I believe it's second time you come in victory lane or your first, either way, this is definitely going to mean a lot to you and the crew. So, who do you want to thank you for all this?
Mainly Misfitz Racing League and everybody who puts this on, man. They don't have any sponsors or nothing like that. Just come out here, run with the boys, and have a good time.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, Zebu, thank you so much for coming on board, and congratulations on this race win today.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan Zebu, ladies and gentlemen, here comes away with the victory, and that will all but complete our night of racing here tonight, folks. And really, it was a hard-fought battle from start to finish, as you currently are seeing some things popping up on my end, my bad. But nevertheless, here, race fans, we do appreciate coming on board. Thanks so much for coming out tonight. Hopefully tomorrow everything's back to normal, but tonight was just a different story. So anyway, from all of us here at Pizza Race TV, thanks for tuning in. We'll sign off for now. Thanks for coming on.